Shalom, Cab. Kind out of one kind.
Rising K, the Raisin Man.
No sweat.
I'm coming back with the bitch, like Tobias did. In the background with the blacksmith iron in. I'm the good shepherd, you're a hireling. The Lord is a man of war, surely he requires men. Plenty crowns on his head, the Messiah kid weeping and gnashing the teeth, bring your violence. I control the brains of behemoth and Leviathan. Iron sharpens iron, I'm on fire with the iron fist. I keep it 125, I don't front, nigga. I keep my sword and a shovel when I hunt, nigga. I stay wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. Fuck God is all love, nigga, give it up. I'm in the club on Shamar, no departure. Quick to pull the arrows out the quiver like an archer. King Arthur, with the knights of the round, equipping brotherhood or weapon, you should never lay it down. No the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some. Throw the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some. I'm at the pinnacle, my niggas identical. You don't want drama, our mod is the original. True Seminoles, waiting on the signal. Move for your honor, the commanding general. In the cold, niggas suffer on your cover. In the go, anybody shouting Shabbat Shalom is a joke. Keep it distance for religions, I'm a sniper with the skull. One body, one mind, I align, they revolt. 50 lasses, is you bastards getting mercy. Jada Pickens, him getting tangled with the wordplay. Fuck a retrograde, bitches is mercy. We be breaking down scriptures cause it's Thursday. One West, the 125th is the birthplace. So black and so brown, so speckled, how the earth say. Now you can hate that we hallowed, but since you faithfully follow, I take a virginal chaser. Don't the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some. Throw the bad, no cap, let's do some. Sharpen that sword, that motherfucker gruesome. Drop nukes on the Duke's Rasputin. I don't want shorty if shorty ain't too some.
Yeah. How are you? How was I? Hey, most high in Christ, sir. Most high in Christ. Let's get it done.
Right, the water. All right. Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. You understand? Where we've been teaching so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians that we are the children of Israel. You understand? And that it is high time to awaken out of sleep. And right now it is way more prevalent and at high stakes of a time to awaken out of sleep, man. Because as we approach closer and closer, you understand, through time, we're beginning to see, you understand, things happen. You understand? Things unfold. The very same things that we've been teaching for years on these street corners, in these classrooms, day in and day out. We've been putting out warnings for blacks, Latinos, Native Indians to come up out of the spirit of America. We've been out here working rigorously, you understand, to get you to understand. We're seeing those very things begin to happen, to unfold. We're seeing that, you understand, everything we've been teaching is the truth. Right. You understand that? Because this is the ISUPK under commanding General Yohana, the home of the truth. Right. You understand? We've been here trying to give you a warning, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. And this is the warning that came from the Lord. Okay? We're trying to get our people back to our culture. And what's this thing about culture is so important. It's what we mentioned, many times. We mentioned this many times in the class or at camp. That culture, the importance of culture. You understand? I'm not because I know some people haven't seen the movie Sinners, but I am going to mention this. One thing I would just mention from the movie Sinners is that, you understand, culture is important, and people will try to take our culture away and use it for their own benefit. You understand? And that's when it comes to, when it comes to this Bible, we have allowed our oppressor to take our culture, our heritage, you understand, our identity, and use it for evil. You understand? This is where you get Christianity. Christianity has destroyed many. And I say this, not just blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. This is our culture. This doesn't belong in the hands of anybody but the people that it was meant for.
Right.
The people that was written by and written for.
Right.
For us, by us. You understand?
Right.
This Bible is for blacks, Latinos, Native Indians. You understand? And no other people. But our oppressor has taken this Bible. He has taken this Bible and used it to destroy everyone. We played a clip the other day, and it was some lady, some African lady, because black people, we're not African, but it was a heathen, an African, right? She said that when our oppressor came into their land, they came as Christians. They brought their Caesar Borgia image, that white image, that white Jesus. They brought that over there, and they used that Christianity to plead with the people and try to get and to convince them to ask them to see if they can use their senses. Right? Let me say that. The white man came to their countries and they used Christianity to snake their way in to get their goods, their resources, to steal people and do all kind of evil things. And they use their smiles and they use that old jolly Christianity. It was all a scam. Christianity is a scam, and we don't even realize that. It's not in the Bible. Christianity is not in the Bible. The Lord Christ never died. He didn't lay down his life for you to know Christianity. Okay?
Right.
That's what we're trying to tell you this. And the world is finally realizing that Christianity has been a lie. We've been trying to give Christianity our person gave us a lie, a doctrine, you understand, to convince us that God loves everybody, right? And Gentile just means everybody. Like, I guess it's the Jewish people and then it's everybody else. And let me tell you something, man. Our oppressor, or that man who's calling himself Jewish, they're not the Jews.
Right.
They're not the Jews in the Bible. You understand? But they have us convinced that we're not the people of the Bible. You understand? And it just don't even matter. That's foolishness. That's foolishness, man. That's nonsense. You are somebody. You are somebody who the Lord recognizes. You understand? When you come back and serve your God, you have a God, black man, Latino, and Native Indian man. You have a God. You have a culture. You have something that's so rich and so valuable that no man can take it away. No man can take away who you really are.
Right.
And they've tried desperately. You understand? But they can't take away who you are. And who you are is in this Bible.
Right.
You understand? You are the children of Israel. You are the apple of God's eye. You are the people whom God chose. You are the people that Christ laid down his life for. You are the people of the book, man. You understand? That's who you are. That's precious, man. There's no need to be ashamed for it. No need to say, oh no, you guys are speaking nonsense. You guys are speaking hate. No, that's not hate, that's love. Because nobody ever told you that. Nobody ever told you that you were God's chosen people. Nobody ever told you that Christ laid down his life for you only.
Right.
No, they're teaching somebody else who doesn't look like you, somebody else who looks just like the people, who comes from the same people that destroyed our people, that stole from our people, that unalived our people, that you understand? Did all kind of vile and evil things to us. That's a lie. That's a lie. You understand? A man who looks just like you gave his life for you, man. You understand? And he gave his life so that you can have a second chance to know who you are. Because who you are is so precious. Wow. Who you are is, if it wasn't precious, then the Lord wouldn't put men on the corners to risk their lives, risk our lives to tell you this. You understand? It's important.
Right.
Right. So if I could, Let me get something. Let me get a Psalms 119 and 104, just real quick, before we get into the lesson. I want to make sure, you know what I'm saying. This is important, man. Like blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians striving for the truth unto death. That's what the Lord wants. He wants you to fight for the truth. Don't fight for a lie. See, we get into our oppressors military, or we get into whatever philosophy or voting or whatever it is, and we risk our lives for a lie, for our oppressor. Our oppressor says, "Yo, you're going to Iraq to fight for freedom. You're going over to Afghanistan to fight for freedom. Freedom? I thought we were free.
Right.
Why are we going to another land to fight? Oh, I know what it is. They had us fighting for resources, for, you understand, oil and drugs and things like that. Fighting for power, not for you, but for our oppressor." Right. But they use the whole phrase freedom and all these things because it rings so, because we not free. You know how they use freedom for you? Because you want to be free. Black people, Latino, Native Indian people, you want to be free. So the thought, they play on your feelings. The thought of fighting for freedom, it feels so passionate, so strong and worthy of doing something for it. Because I gotta put on a uniform. I gotta do that because it's for freedom. See, because they lie to you. You put on that uniform to fight for a lie. You're fighting for a people that never fought for you. You're fighting for a people that never did anything for blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Right.
Let me tell you something, man. Fight for the Lord. Let me tell you that. You understand? You gonna put yourself on. Don't worry about no military garment, no police uniform, fight all that. Go put on a garment. Get yourself on a garment and some boots, and dress like your king. Dress like your king, Jesus Christ, a black man named Yahushua. Put on that uniform. Put on your culture. Put on your own identity. That's what matters. Pretty soon you're gonna realize that all this stuff never mattered. It never meant a damn thing, and you're gonna realize that. But by the time you realize that and you didn't come in here, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. And yeah, we're gonna weep for you. Yeah, I'll weep for you. Yeah, I will. You understand? Because that is sad. I'll weep just like Noah did. You understand? Read what you got.
Oh God. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104.
Mm-hmm.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Through what?
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
See, because we follow the doctrine of our oppressor. We've been following the doctrine of our oppressor, and guess what? He hasn't used precepts. He hasn't used, you understand, the truth. It says through precepts I get understanding. No, they'll take a scripture out of the Bible and say, well, see, look, God loves everybody, and close the damn book. So you can do whatever you want, you can eat what you want, you can live however you want, close the book. That's a lie. It's a damn lie.
Right.
And that's what we're here to do. We're here to dispel and destroy and break down all those lies that we've been taught all of our lives. You understand? That's what we're here to do. We're going to do it. You understand? Keep reading from the top from the beginning.
Through thy precepts I get understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I hate every false way.
No, I love everything.
I hate every false way.
I hate every false way. That's how you should be.
Right.
You don't think hate is in the Bible? The Lord hates every false way. And guess what? Christianity and Islam and Buddhism and putting crystals around your neck is a false way.
That's right.
And we hate it. You understand? We hate what the Lord hates, and we love what the Lord loves.
Right.
You understand? Just like Christ was one with the Lord, right? Now Christians will take that scripture and destroy it. They'll butcher it. Oh, Christ and God are the same people. No, that means they are on the same accord. Right. It says that Christ, when Christ said He and the Lord is one, or if you see me, you see the Father, it's because Christ had the same mind as the Lord. Right. Meaning He carried everything that Christ did. That's exactly what the Lord wanted. Do you understand? He was in the same accord with the Lord. He was right. He was on the same page. He wasn't like, you understand, us in the world being Gentiles. You understand? Being Gentiles meaning we're following after every false way.
Right.
And not hating every false way. We're loving everything, you understand? But what the Lord wants us to love. You understand? We're calling good evil and evil good. We're putting darkness for light and light for darkness. That's what we've been doing in the world. And you know what? That's why when the scripture is talking about Gentiles, depending on the context, it's talking about us. Because we haven't been, you understand, one with the Lord. Do you understand? We're gonna jump into that. We're gonna get into that because we're gonna get just to touch on a little bit of history on the Gentiles and who the Gentiles are. Because for some reason, Christianity has taught what? That Gentiles is talking about every damn body. No. Gentiles, you got a Zondervan too? But you could just make sure you get a Zondervan because I want to pull something out of there. You already know what I want. But they have taught that Gentiles is talking about everybody. Come on now. So you're trying to tell me that Christianity teaches that Christ, who is from the tribe of Judah, even in Revelation, even when as he sits on the right hand of the Lord, he's still of the tribe of Judah. You understand? And it says he died. It says that he came to save his people, right? Don't it say that in Matthew 1:21? Right. Matthew 1:21 says that he shall save his people.
That's right.
If he's a Judite, that means he has a particular, he has a particular people who he's referring to.
Right.
He's not talking about everybody. Right?
Right.
So we're gonna touch on a little history about that, right? So if I could, let me get first of all, let's just jump on this. Israel split into two different kingdoms, or two kingdoms. Okay, the children of Israel split not under King Solomon, but it was because of what King Solomon did. Matter of fact, if you could, let me get let's get that. Let's get 1 Kings 11:9, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start there. 1 Kings 11:9. Yeah, this thing working, bro. Right? 1 Kings 11:9. So we can go into the history a little bit, because for some, we gotta go into why we say that. We say what the Lord said. We say what the scripture said. Christianity teaches something different, like Gentiles, that Christ died for everybody. Depending on the context, which context is very important, which Christians just for whatever reason seem to not follow that.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you this, Christians, Blacks, Latino, Native Indian Christians, it is not your fault. It's not your fault that you believe those things. You know whose fault it is? It's our oppressor.
That's right.
Because they are the ones who fed us these lies, and they fed it to us by the way of our Christian pastors, right? And those Christian pastors were Blacks, Latino, Native Indians, but guess what? They love our oppressors so much they're willing to sell out our own people. You understand? For money, for power, for a position in our oppressor's kingdom, a position. And guess what? They hate the ISUPK. Right. Those Christian pastors, they hate the ISUPK because these Christian pastors are losing their seat. They're losing their power. You understand? They're losing their power, and this is why people are leaving that Christian church.
Right.
They're getting the hell out of there. But the few that stay, I mean, that's another story, brother. Go ahead and let's go ahead and get that scripture.
1 Kings 11:9. This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord God of Israel. So
King Solomon, he committed many evils. Like he was into witchcraft. He was laying with women of other nations. You understand? And okay, so A commandment. The Lord gave us a commandment to not lie with heathen nations, women of other nations. Like you can't be with a so-called white woman or a Chinese woman or a East Indian woman or anybody who is not of the tribes of the so like anybody who is not of the children of Israel. We're not supposed to be dealing with them.
Right.
Why? Because why? Anybody know why? Sakari?
So I could, because it'll turn our heart away from the Lord.
Damn right. That brother, he said it right on the point. Because if we follow these, if we go and marry and lay with these other nations, these women from the other nations, you know what's gonna do? Just like Sakari just said, it's gonna turn our heart, our mind from following after the Lord.
Right.
You understand? And you understand that split our nations. It split the children of Israel into two different kingdoms. And I don't even like saying that because it don't sound right. It divided the nations. It divided the children of Israel. You understand? We had the southern kingdom, which I don't even like using that term either. You have I'm going to use it for this sake, right? The southern kingdom, Judah, the tribe of Judah, and you have the northern kingdom, which would be, you understand, the tribe, which is the head tribe of that was the tribe of Ephraim. Okay, but this is the northern kingdom. Those would be like considered the like the Hispanic and Native Indian tribes. The southern kingdom would be considered like the black Jamaican and Haitian. You understand? Like we are the you understand? We're split into two different kingdoms, right? Blacks and browns, or blacks and Latinos. Like we're supposed to be one nation, just the children of Israel.
Right.
But King Solomon, keep reading, Bible Shah.
Which had appeared unto him twice. Verse 10. And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods.
He did what?
That he should not go after other gods.
King Solomon, he laid with these other women, and he went after these other guys because he wanted to please them women. You understand that? And that's the thing about a woman, man. You gotta be careful with these women, man, because I'm gonna say that you gotta have integrity first and foremost. And the first integrity you should have is with the Lord.
Right.
You shouldn't go off and do your own thing, and because the Lord knows you have a culture. The Lord knows is gonna preserve you and keep you. You understand? You got brothers out there will think that, oh yeah, I don't have to, all right, cool. Well, all I got to do is not have her turn my heart. Now turn my heart from following the Lord. No. The Lord told you not to go have any dealings with these other nations. You need to stick with your own people. Stick with your own woman. You understand? And leave the East Indian woman or the Chinese woman to their own people. You understand? Keep reading.
And had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which the Lord commanded.
Keep going.
Verse 11. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant.
Keep reading.
Verse 12. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Verse 13. Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake,
right,
and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen.
All right. So okay. So now go to 1 Kings 12. I think you can start at 19. I believe 19. Might go a little higher, but let's just try to see what there. See what's said right there. Might be 18. Yeah, start at 18.
Okay.
So the kingdom didn't split under King Solomon, but by what he did, This is why the kingdom split. And the reason why we're going into this is because we're going to show you why it talks about Gentiles, and you got to follow context in the New Testament when it talks about Gentiles. You understand? Gentiles is talking about, usually, depending on the context, it's referring to the children of Israel. All right? Right? So go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, verse 18.
Right.
Then King Rehoboam sent Araunah, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. Therefore, King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. Verse 19.
Yeah. So
Israel rebelled against the house of David until this day.
Right. So by this time, we were already calling the northern kingdom Israel and the southern kingdom, right, of the house that's under David. Right. Keep going.
Verse 20. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation, and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of David, but the tribe of Judah only.
But who?
But the tribe of Judah only.
So you have the tribe of Judah, right? So here's who stayed. Here's who stayed, right? 2.5 tribes stayed with the tribe of Judah. And I believe it's if I'm not mistaken, 9.5 tribes stayed with the northern kingdom, right? And they left, and I say half because a half of Levi stayed with Judah, and a half of Levi went with the northern kingdom. Okay, so now fast forward. I believe when you go into the book of Hosea, I believe in around the 11th chapter, the northern kingdom, you understand, they went off. They were supposed to go off and serve the Lord and keep the commandments, but they didn't. They began to serve other gods and do things that the Lord didn't do. The Lord didn't want them to do. So the Lord cast them off. So then it was only the tribe of Judah who the Lord was dealing with. You understand? So they became, and even some of the southern kingdom became, by the way of their customs that they learned from the other nations, they became Gentiles. Let me get in the Zondervan, Baba Kashab. You got your mic? Your mic working? It's loading.
Low battery.
What? I just got them battery. Okay, no sweat. All right, go ahead. There's some more batteries on that shelf too. All right.
What word you want to say?
Gentile. Yeah, should be right there on that bookshelf. Gentile. So to give you a little bit of history, so Gentile, a little context, right? Gentile is something that Christians like to say that it just means everybody. But it doesn't mean everybody. Depending on the context, it can be either talking about a heathen or talking about an Israelite that have been, we're going to get it. But it might be talking about an Israelite that follows the culture of another nation. You understand? Because right now you call yourself an American. We grew up calling ourselves American or Jamaican or Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican. You know, we're calling ourselves by the land that we're from, the land we were born on. Like, it's wild to call yourself an American or Brit or from Britain or British. You understand? Because these places have many nations on them.
Right.
America's a big melting pot. So it's all kinds of different nations. So is American a nationality? Nah. So now I got a name that go to what? Oh, I'm an American, but I'm black. Well, damn, what country is that? Where's the country black at? Okay, I'm an African American. Well, damn, okay, so you're African and you're American. So, Elon Musk is an African American too, right?
Right.
Are y'all the same race? Are you the same race as Elon Musk? Because he's an African American. That's what he says on the birth certificate. Why the hell? You understand what I'm saying? These are not nationalities. The Lord never gave you these nationalities. You understand? And it's important to understand that. It's important to know who you are. Right? Because to know who you are is to know who you ain't. Yeah, I think Goody Mob said that. Okay, read what you got.
This is definition of the word Gentiles. Usually, it means a non-Israelite people.
It said what?
Usually, it means a non-Israelite people.
Now, this is a Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It's a Bible dictionary, and it says the word Gentile. The definition to the word Gentile is usually a non-Israelite. Usually, meaning depending on the context, that makes a difference. That makes a big difference. You can't just go in the Bible and say Gentile means everybody, because context is everything. You can get confused if you don't know context. This is why you got people who don't even who atheists. They'll say, well, there's contradictions in the Bible. Can't believe the Bible. I mean, the Bible's not all accurate. The Bible, you understand? Because Christianity contradicts the Bible. The Bible has no contradictions in it. Christianity just fails to use context. You understand? Read that one more time.
Oh God. Gentiles. Usually it means a non-Israelite people.
Nah, you good on that. Let me get is that it on it? Okay, Ben. Let me get John 7. No, let me get John 7:35. John 7:35, I'm sure. Just to give you an example of what we're talking about. Okay. And I want you to read it. I want you to read it fairly slow. Not too slow, but you know what I'm saying. Just, Matter of fact, just emphasize the word Gentile. Just do that.
Oh God. This is the book of John, chapter 7, verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go? That we shall not find him. Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles?
On what?
Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles?
Will he go amongst the dispersed? Among the who?
The Gentiles. And teach the Gentiles. So
this is two different Gentiles it's talking about. Is this really where he go? Where is he gonna go amongst the dispersed? Who are the dispersed?
It's the
Northern Kingdom. You understand? Or it's really I guess I wouldn't say the Northern Kingdom. I would say the scattered Israelites. Scattered meaning they followed many. They're everywhere. We're scattered in many different countries. We're in many different doctrines, many different beliefs, and follow different cultures. We're scattered. You understand? We're everywhere. I mean, you should see us in Passover. Brothers are coming from all over many countries. Right. Many different countries, brother. You understand? We're the dispersed. The diaspora. What they say to the diaspora? The old definition to that word, you know. Well, I ain't gonna mention it because you can't find it no more. They didn't wipe that clean from the internet. But it used to be once upon a time that diaspora. When you read the diaspora, it was talking about the children of Israel. But some of the lost what? Something you got a question? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of this is the peak back what you were saying when you talk about us being dispersed or scattered.
Yeah, Ezekiel.
Lost.
Okay, good.
This is the book of John, chapter 11, verse 52. And not for that nation only, but that also we should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
Damn right. Your man. You understand? We should gather together the children that were scattered abroad, man. You understand? That our people have we become Gentiles by the way of following the customs. Let me get the word. Can you look up the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Is it Grecian? You might have to look it up under the Webster's. What's the word I'm looking for? Where it says what's that word? It's gonna tip my tongue too. Good night. Wow. What's that word? It's not Greek. Is it Grecian? No, it's not Grecian. It's Hellenized. Let me get Hellenized. Let me get Hellenistic Jew. Let me get Hellenistic Jew. The water. Yep, that's what I'm looking for.
This is a definition of Hellenistic Jews.
Hellenistic Jews were Jews who during the Hellenistic period, roughly 332 BCE to 63 BCE.
This is during the Roman Empire, right?
Adopted Greek language.
They did what?
Adopted Greek language.
They adopted Greek language. Meaning just like you adopted English, you adopted Spanish, you adopted Creole, you adopted these other languages, because guess what? These are the people who Hellenized us. Right? Go ahead.
Culture and some aspects of Greek lifestyle.
Hold on, read from the top.
Hellenistic Jews were Jews who during the Hellenistic period adopted Greek language, culture, and some aspects of Greek lifestyle.
Exactly. We begin to follow their culture, their language, and their lifestyle. You understand? That's how we became Gentiles. Do you understand? That's exactly how that happened. That's just a brief history. Okay. Let me get Romans. Let me see. I don't want that right now. Let me get Romans 9:26. Romans 9:26.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 26. And this shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Right? Because why are people saying that we're not his people? Because we've been going by other names. It's somewhat, we've been going by other names for so long. And guess why? That's why we've been going by other names, because we've been following their culture, their languages, and their lifestyle.
Right.
We haven't been acting as the Jews. We are the Jews.
That's right.
But we become Gentiles. We become Gentiles by way of our actions, by the way of our behavior and our lifestyle that was taught to us by our fathers and his father and his grandfather and his grandfather, who was, you understand, who had to submit for survival. You understand? That's the way, which I don't know why this will be even go over our heads when we go into Revelation, which I'm gonna get into that, because the mark of the beast, right? What did it say? What says whoever should not worship his image shall be killed? Right. That's the spirit of our oppressor. If you don't worship him and bow down to him, he's going to destroy you. And that's the same spirit that our ancestors were subjugated and had to learn to be Christians under. We had to learn to be Christians, you understand, by the sword, by trying not to be lynched, by trying not to have our children ripped apart from us, taken from us, to not have our wives or our mothers, you understand, essayed. Like, our ancestors didn't learn Christianity the way that Christians come to your house and when they smiling in your face and they knocking on your door and want to say a little prayer for you. No, we learned by the sword, by seeing our father or our uncle or our cousin getting ripped apart with a horse, 2 horses. You understand? Being butt broken or whatever it is, right? Was it butt break?
Butt breaking and buxing.
Butt broke, something like that, brother. Let me tell you, our oppressor is evil, man. Right. And that's how we learn to be Christians. We learn to be Christians, you understand, through the evil atrocities that our oppressor put upon us, man. You understand? That's how we learn to be Gentiles. By, you understand, submitting to their culture. And you know what I'm saying? Learning Christmas and Thanksgiving and all these lies. Our culture in America was built on lies. You understand? Because it's our oppressor's history. You understand? It's what they tell you. That's why they're trying to rewrite it right now. If we was to go on another 100 years right now, they'll say you that damn Chuck Berry was white. All the rock and roll and all the music, all the hip hop, everybody was white. You know what I'm saying? They'll say the slaves was white. Our oppressor is a liar, man.
Right.
Okay. What else I want to jump into something too. Yeah, the mark of the beast. That's what I want to touch on. Right. What is the mark of the beast? Because this is what we began the class on. As we've been taught lies all of our lives, and culture is so important and so precious. You understand? It's something that we should hold near and dear. And I'm not talking about the culture that we've learned here in America, because that is our oppressor's culture. They taught us to be how we are now.
Right.
Through putting drugs in our neighborhood, and then forcing out. But you know, it's wild too. And you already know, but you know, black people know this too. It's wild. You know that rappers have to talk about sex, drugs, and murder in order for them to get their record played, in order for them to get a deal, in order for them to even, you know what I'm saying, stay on that label. They have to talk about certain things. That's a fact. Why? So they can continue to keep the black and brown community destroyed and keep that prison system going. The prison system and it's no different. It's really slavery.
Right.
The whole entire prison system in America was created based on slavery. It wasn't too long after slavery ended, they created something called petty laws. Petty laws. This is where you got jaywalking come from. This is where you get, you know, just little petty crimes. They don't mean any damn thing. If you sat on a porch for too long, if you was outside, you know, if you got caught outside during a certain hour, you'll be locked up and put in and go in prison. That's why you always see your grandparents inside, because they had to submit to those things. You understand? Jim Crow laws was to put black men into jail, to fund a prison system was really disguised as slavery. Slavery. That's all it is. What was it? What's that movie? The 13th Amendment. They had a movie come out on Netflix called The 13th Amendment. You should go watch it. Slavery was just created the prison system was just created just to keep you a slave. And then you want to go and try to say, well, I'm going to fight for freedom. I'm going to put on our oppressor's uniform and go fight for freedom. That's foolishness. Our oppressor, you're fighting for lies. And guess what? That time is ending. Okay? Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, we have to come back to our culture, our heritage. We have to fight for the Lord. Let me get what is the mark of the beast? Hold on. I mean, I know y'all brothers know. What is the mark of the beast? Go ahead.
Like if I may, the mark of the beast is the love of the white man and his structure, like his rulership.
I like that answer.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
This is how the world is built on, you know, love what the white man loves, work to build his kingdom, work to sustain his kingdom, work to earn a seat in his kingdom. And by doing that, you have to love everything that he loves and hate everything that he hates.
Right. That is right. That is correct. That's not exactly what I'm looking for, but you are on the money. You're right. Because everything you said, nothing you said was wrong. Everything you said is right. It's just not the word that I'm looking for.
Spice, we got an answer online.
Zakaria, okay, what's up?
Sister Kapar said, Salaki is certified committee.
Uh-huh.
Is it his ways and customs?
Yes, it is his ways, but sum it up for me.
I would say it is the mentality, the mindset.
The mark of the beast is Christianity. That's the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is Christianity.
Right.
You understand? And every answer you've given is correct. The mark of the beast is his policies, it's his philosophies, it's his religion, it's his way of life, his lifestyle. You understand? But the thing that holds these things, to ring true is not true, but ring to give it power is Christianity. Christianity is like, just think about a damn hippie. Just think about a hippie in America. I say in America, he's the name in Austin. Hippie down the street, some dude, he's coming with love and I love everybody. And hey, guy, let's just smoke. That's Christianity. That's no different than Christianity. Christians do the same thing. They don't act like hippies. They smoke too. Right? And they think God loves everybody, and they just don't want all people to be alone. That's Christianity. You understand? Let me get Deuteronomy 6:48, Mark Shot. Because we can go into the mark of the beast, but we're going to go into that. But I want to say this, man. There's two marks. Everybody knows that, right? There's two marks. Christians are so concerned about the mark of the beast, but not the mark of the Lord. Right? 6 and what? You sure? Oh, am I sure? Deuteronomy? Okay, hold on. Go to Deuteronomy. You sure, bro? Let's see. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Hold on. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 4. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Just give me 1 minute. Let me see. Oh, I'm gonna get it for you. Just give me 1 moment. Bear with me. One moment, right? 6 and 8. I'm tripping. I don't know why I said 40. Deuteronomy 6 and 8. Right? Because we want to know what the Lord's mark is. Right? Or do you have the Lord's mark? Or are you worried about our oppressor's mark? You understand? You want to make sure you have the Lord's mark. The Lord's, you want to have the Lord's mark, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 8. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
You should do what?
Bind them for a sign upon thine hand.
So like a gold one, you could, Baba Kusha? Go to verse 4, 6 and 4.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Right. Hear, O Israel. That's who the Lord is talking about. Who the Lord is talking to. Keep reading.
Verse 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Didn't Christ say this? Christ, Christ did say these very same thing. Hear, O Israel. Well, what chapter is that? That's what? Mark 12 and 40, 12 and 48, or 12 and 38, something like that. You don't have to go to it, huh? 12 and 35. Okay, yeah. Right. Go ahead. Christ said this. Christ recited the very same thing that we're reading right here. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. Verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them.
Right.
Thou sittest in thine house.
The Lord's ways, the Lord's laws, his commandments, his statutes. You understand? His ways, right? Go ahead.
And when thou walkest by the way,
Uh-huh.
and when thou liest down,
Mm-hmm.
and when thou risest up. Verse 8.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand,
Mm-hmm.
and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes.
Well, read that one more time. A sign where? Upon what?
Upon thine hand.
A sign upon thy hand. So you supposed to have a sign upon your hand. What does that mean? Not literally. Are you really gonna have some kind of symbol? It's gonna like a Mortal Kombat. It's gonna just symbols gonna burn into your finger. Like, oh snap! I serve the Lord. That's what's gonna happen. What you about to say, Zachariah?
Sorry, sir. This is I can interpret this as a breakdown that Jeff gave about like a year ago about the same thing that Christ said about the mark of the beast in the book of Revelation, where it says some have it in their head, some have it in their hand, and that's not literally. But if I could, so I'm pretty sure this means the same thing. Where it says, "And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand," where it says, "For a sign upon thy hand," I mean like your actions.
Right.
And if I could see.
Absolutely.
And it says, "And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes."
Well, speaking to the mic, because people they want to hear it. Huh? Okay, go ahead.
And where it says, "And they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes," that's talking about his commandments shall be in the forefront of your brain.
Absolutely.
They shall always be like the first thing, the first thought that comes to your mind. Like Cap said in his class on Sunday, where he said, "What to do in the fire?" He says the fire is when you use all your training. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it's talking about. When the Lord says, "Teach them diligently to their children," because we're going through times right now where we're going to acquire protocols and rules and statutes, and we're going to know how to respond. Because if we don't, we're going to be stuck.
Right. So absolutely. So to sum it up, the sign, and you understand that is in your right hand, right, and between your frontals, right, your forehead. That's talking about what? That's not talking about the mark of the beast, right? Is that talking about the microchip? No, that's talking about the Lord. Where we at to? Where we at again?
Deuteronomy 6 and 8.
And he said, "This is the Lord speaking to the children of Israel." Right. And he's telling the children of Israel to put this knowledge, put these commandments, these laws, these statutes, put the Lord's ways. You understand? In your mind and in your actions. You understand? Put this sign upon you. And that's the Lord's sign. The Lord's ways, God's ways. That's what we want. That's what we want. We don't, we don't want to fight for our oppressor's culture and fight for his ways. No, we want God's ways. We want to put God's ways in our frontals and in our right hand. Right. Let me get Ezekiel. Where I want to go. Ezekiel 9:4. Right. Just so we can show, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to show the God signs. God's mark. Right? God has a mark. And this is the mark that you want to get. You want to have this mark or this seal in the last days. In the time that we're going into right now, you want to have that seal. You want to have that mark. You understand? You don't want to you don't want to be following Christianity, which is the mark of the beast.
Right.
That's who gave us. We'll get to it. We're gonna get to that just after this, right? Go ahead.
This is book of Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, "Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh."
Set a what?
And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, and that cry for all the abominations that he done in the midst thereof.
Right. So the Lord sent the angels to say, put a mark upon them. Put a mark of the brothers that sigh and cry. Meaning they're looking at all the evils and the abominations that are going on, like things of the LGBTQ and the you know, eating swine's flesh, celebrating pagan holidays, evils and all kind of adulteries, serving other gods. All these things are abominations to the Lord. And the Lord said, put a mark upon the men that sigh and cry, right? And go ahead.
For all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Verse 5. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
So the judgment is going to come. The Lord's going to send a judgment, right? To do what? To smite? No, to love.
To smite.
To give hugs to.
To smite.
To smite. To destroy. Right? To destroy who?
Verse 6. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
Damn, that's the Lord's mark. The Lord, and when you see that in that day, them angels are not going to spare. If you don't have that mark, you're going to get destroyed. You're not going to have that covering. That's from the Lord. You're not going to have that protection from the Lord. You understand? You're going to get utterly destroyed. You understand? And we're in the time that we're living in right now, you want to have the mark of the Lord.
Right.
You want to have that mark. You want to be sealed. You don't want to be out in the world risking your life. You're risking it. And I say a risk because, you never know who's going to get in the chariots. But, I mean, it's going to be the slain of the Lord shall be many. That's what the scriptures say. And guess what else? This war that you're seeing, all these things that's happening right now, all this stuff is in the scriptures, man. Like the tariffs and the ships that's not on that. We're going to get to it too. But the ships that's not at the port, all that's in the Bible. Tariffs are in the Bible.
Right.
You understand? We live in a time where this is a time where you not to be playing with. You shouldn't be BSing right now. If you are Black, Latino, or Native Indian, you need to get in the ISUPK.
Right.
I don't even want to say just say, well, yeah, you can come up out of that. Yeah, man, it's cool if you stop doing those sins, but you better get into the place where the Lord created for you.
Right.
You better get a covering on and come up in this school and change your life. Change your life and get a new name. Don't be like in the world and I'm an Israelite, but I'm not gonna get in the ISUPK. I'm gonna name my own self. I'm gonna name myself Yahada Hudahi.
Right.
My name is Yahada Hudahi. I'm from Ben, Israel. Good night. Right. And that's not the Christ's name. What Christ's name is Yahayushu. I don't know how they say it, brother. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on out there. Like, if give any kind of name, and I don't know how they come up with it, but I know it's not Hebrew. I know it's not, it's not the truth. Okay.
Wow.
First and foremost, it's just not the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? Come to the ISUPK and get the truth.
Right.
Don't get lied to again. Don't leave the Christian church from where you was getting lied to, and then get to a fake Israelite group or some other religion and get lied to again. You understand? And I'm gonna tell you right, it's a warning. It's gonna break your heart. You're gonna leave that Christian church and get into a fake Israelite group or some bull crap, and you're gonna get your spirit broken. You're gonna get your spirit crushed, and you're gonna think the Christian church was the truth the whole time. And you understand? It's just that you never left Christianity.
Right.
You just went to another Christian group, which is just another place that you can just be a servant to the mark of the beast and not to the mark of the Lord. Right? So let me get where we at? You read verse 6 already?
No.
Okay, yeah, read it again. Read that part from the top, verse 6. Oh, sure.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 6. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children and women, to come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary.
Right. Because having the Lord's mark is having the Lord's ways and his protection.
Right.
Having the Lord's, you understand, mark is having, you understand, a seal or a protection, his ways. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Lord's going to protect you. He's going to preserve you. He's going to keep you. But if you are acting like the heathen, I mean, he's going to destroy the heathen. Look at all the evil things that the heathen has done to us as blacks, Latinos, Native Indians. Don't act like you don't know it. Don't act like you just, it just didn't happen. No, it did happen. It happened to us, and the Lord didn't forget about it. The Lord didn't forget about slavery. He didn't forget about the Trail of Tears. Right. He didn't forget about all the evil. He didn't forget about the drugs that were put in our neighborhoods.
Right.
Because you don't think that they was growing drugs in the neighborhood and they just created it out of nowhere. No, the CIA even admitted to flying drugs into the United States, into black and brown neighborhoods, raising up black men and Hispanic men to be drug lords and giving them protection and making them the face of the drug and then bringing them down and then raising somebody up. They've admitted to all these things and they've never paid for those crimes. No one that was ever persecuted for those very crimes. And guess what? The Lord never forgot about that. There's a court date. There's a date in time that's set for our oppressor to pay. And that day is Judgment Day.
Right.
But if you are found, if Christ and the angels catch you following after our oppressor, which means you are in agreement to all those evil atrocities that were done to us because you didn't decide to change. You didn't decide to separate yourselves from the ways of our oppressor, from the ways of the beast. Instead, you wanted to follow the ways. You understand? Yeah, you want to follow their ways. You didn't want to follow the ways of the Lord. You didn't want to follow the ways of the Lord, to have that knowledge and that wisdom. You understand? To have that protection, to get that mark, to get the mark of the Lord. Instead, you fought and you loved that mark of the beast. And we're going to get into that too. Let me get, after this, let me get Revelations 14:1.
Oh.
Did you ever get those videos that I sent to you on the Google? I wonder if they ever went through. Don't worry about it. We'll get in a second. Let me get Revelation 14:1. We'll get to it. Or actually, Razan, you mind reading that for me, just so he can see if I've seen those videos?
Which one?
Revelation 14:1. Yeah, Revelation 14:1. Yeah, of course. See if those videos came through. I mean, if they didn't come, man, it's cool. But man, I sure wouldn't play them.
Book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000,
right,
having his Father's name written in their foreheads. Verse 2.
Having what?
Having his Father's name written in their foreheads.
Having his Father's name, meaning that's the 144,000 having the ways of the Lord in their minds.
Right.
These brothers had the ways of the Lord in their forehead. Now, is it a mark, or is it like an actual stamp or a chip? No. The Lord has a mark, and it's his ways, his knowledge. You have God's knowledge when you come in here and you learn.
Right.
God's knowledge. That's precious, man. That's protection. That's wisdom. You understand? It means that you put in your mind that you're not gonna be like them. You're not gonna be with it. We not like them? They're not like us, right?
Right.
They're not like us. You're not like them.
Right.
You want to be different. You want to get as far away from our oppressor and their ways as much as possible. You understand? You want to make a clear difference that we are not like them. Because if you are found being like them, the Lord's going to destroy you. And how are you like them? Meaning you follow their philosophies, their religion. Their religion, first and foremost, the religion is blasphemy. So blasphemy, the word blasphemy means a disgusting lie. It's a filthy lie. And that's what Christianity is. It's a lie. It's not in the Bible. The Christianity doesn't follow context. It doesn't follow what the Lord says. It just does whatever the white man says. You understand? And our oppressor has never wanted anything great for us, ever. And that's not a mystery. I don't know why, I don't even know why black people even gasp at that. Oh my God, why would he say that? I don't even know why. What the hell am I speaking? Like, are we ignoring the history? You understand? Why is it a mystery? I don't even understand that. That's the part I was confused about. Why does it sound like hate speech when it's the damn truth?
Right.
I mean, are we going to forget about slavery? Are we going to forget about the Trail of Tears? Do you know about the Trail of Tears? No, let's look. Do you know about Emmett Till?
Right.
Have you ever looked into the Emmett Till story? Like, people hear about the Emmett Till story and they see the open casket. That was terrible. But they don't even know the details. See, the details will really change your mind.
Right.
It would make sense now. The Lord didn't forget about that. Let me tell you something. Those men never paid for that either.
Right.
Because our oppressor does not pay for their crimes. Neither did the woman, right?
Right.
I believe she was on her deathbed. She I think she came, told the truth that she lied.
Right.
But whether she lied or not, he never deserved that.
Right.
He never deserved that. Brother, let me tell you something, man. Christianity puts something in you where you don't have any compassion for the brutal murder of our people that was before us. Right. Like it just removes that compassion and love or the sorrow for our people and what we had to go through as Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians. It just makes you have a lie in you, a lie that makes you love our oppressor and forget about all that innocent blood that was shed for our people. And that's disgusting, man. That's a filthy, disgusting thing that I hate so much. I hate that with my whole heart. And Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, we have to get the hell out of Christianity.
What?
Because the Lord hates that. The Lord can't stand that spirit of you forgetting about, of you submitting through the religion of our oppressor. It's just like as if you agree with the atrocities that was done to us, man. Right. You understand? What's that? Isaiah 28. I forget what it is, where it says you are at agreement with hell, and with death you have made it a covenant with it. You understand? That's what our people have done. We have made a covenant with death. We follow we follow our oppressor's religion and their culture and their ways, and it keeps happening to us, and we wonder why. What you guys, Corey? Oh, damn right. Okay, go on.
This is the book of Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then we shall be trodden down by it.
Read up one. Read up like one, I think. I think it's, yeah, read up one. You could. I think you right there, but I believe it says with you have made a covenant with death, or read up one. You say that? It's around there somewhere, but it's, you right on the money.
I see it too.
There
This
you
is
go.
the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 15. Because he has said,
there it is.
We have made a covenant with death.
Ye have said, we have made a covenant with death. when you pledge allegiance, you making a pledge. You pledge allegiance. Like, you know what a pledge is, right? It's like a covenant. It's like a promise. You pledging an oath. You're making an oath, right?
Right.
When you pledge allegiance to the flag and do all these other things for our oppressor, what are you doing?
Made a covenant with death.
Yeah, you're making a covenant with death, because even those red stripes represents our blood.
Right.
No, those red stripes on that flag represents our blood. What is the national anthem is? What is the third verse on the national anthem read? It's talking about the blood of slaves and how we would never be free. And you want to stand up for the flag? You want to go fight for your oppressor? With that blood, you want to wear that flag on your chest and be proud of our oppressor telling us that we're never going to be free?
Right. If I could.
Go ahead.
I got that for you too. This is the third stanza of the Star Spangled Banner.
Damn, Zakaria on it. Go ahead.
It states, their blood has washed out their foul footsteps pollution. No refuge could save the heroine enslaved from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave. And the Star Spangled Banner and triumph doth wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's it, sir.
Damn. Talking about us, talking about slaves, talking about black people, Latino people, talking about our Native Indian, how we won't be free. How they was shed our blood, man. You understand? Nah, man. Nah, I wouldn't stand for that, man. I'm gonna stand with Christ. I'm gonna stand with the Lord. I'm gonna stand with the Most High God. You understand? And our King who laid down his life for us. That's what I'm standing with. You're gonna choose this day who you gonna serve. Right. Are you gonna serve the so-called white man, or are you gonna serve the Lord? That's your choice. But just know that the mark of the Lord is not going to be on you. It's not going to be in your mind or in your spirit. It's not going to be with you. You're not going to have the mark of the Lord. You're not going to have that knowledge. You're not going to have the wisdom or the protection from the Lord. No. When it hits the fan, just know that your name is on a list somewhere. The Lord has your name on a list. But guess what? You come in here, you get a new name. Right. You come into the ISUPK, you get a new name. And when the angels come looking for you, you won't be that man. You won't even act like him no more. You'll put down the weed, put down the drugs, put down our oppressor's woman, put down all these lies and all these things that have destroyed our people. All the things and the ways that, you understand, that have destroyed us, man. You'll put that away, man, and just become a new creature, man. Just be a new man. You understand? So, like, where you at? Revelations 14:1?
Oh,
yeah, you got it. We already got that. All right, so where are we in time? Oh, my sure.
Hour 13, sir.
Okay, bet. So, in regards to the read them one time, Revelations 14:1.
This is book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him, 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads.
So I want to say, the book of Revelation is majority of it is what's the word, symbolic, right, or metaphorically speaking. Like, for example, you're not going to see, you understand, a seven-headed beast come up out of the ocean. You're not going to see a great red dragon flying in the sky. You understand? It's symbolic for something. You understand? So when we're talking about the mark of the beast, first and foremost, you need to know who the beast is. This is why we go so hard when we talk about our oppressor, because you don't know who the beast is.
Right.
This is why you're so hell bent in keeping his ways and trying to love everybody. It's so why you're so sure that the word Gentile is referring to everybody, because that's the market. That's the way you got that from your oppressor. We got that from the white man. You understand? Because he's trying to flee from judgment. The reason why he's going to give you this lie, these little doctrines and things like that, because he's trying to flee from judgment. Right? Esau, let me tell you who Esau is. Esau is a fugitive and a vagabond. Somebody give me that real quick. I'm just going to show you this. Okay? We're going to show you what's going on. Because they're not going to tell you the truth. The Christian pastor don't know the Bible. And guess what? Esau, he's not going to tell you the truth. He's not going to tell you who he really is. So you can follow his ways. And you'll hold his ways in your right hand and you'll keep it in your forehead. You understand? You're going to uphold that mark of the beast and not the mark of the Lord. You're not going to stand or hold to what's true, which was what the Lord gave you, which is his ways. You're gonna follow our oppressor. You shouldn't do that, man. Right? What you guys are calling about, Michelle?
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 10. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy voice.
So, like, give me the one in give me the precept for that. It was talking about Esau. You know what I'm talking about, right? Which I believe it's in man, where's it at? It's in yeah. If you can't find it, no sweat. But I do want you to get it if you could. I forget. Let me help y'all out, man. Let me show you.
Just that verse 4 and 12.
Genesis 4 and 12. Yeah, you read that. That's cool. We'll go with that. That's cool.
Book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
A what?
A fugitive and vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
Right. A fugitive and a vagabond. Right? Verse 13. Hold on 1 second. If you could. Sure. 1 minute, y'all. Am I tripping? No, that's cool. We'll go with that. It's not the verse I was looking for, but I don't know why I can't find it right now. That's no sweat though. But,
vagabond is in the verse.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So our oppressor is a fugitive vagabond. And the reason why he's a fugitive, what is a fugitive? A fugitive is someone who's running from the law or running from judgment, running from a punishment.
14.
What's that?
Genesis chapter 4, verse 14.
No, it's not. Hold on. I mean, let me see what you got here. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from that place shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond.
Nope, that's crazy. I can't see it. Oh man, no. Look, there's no sweat because we'll just get it next week. It's cool. I'm gonna find that. I don't know why I can't find it right now. No, it's all good. All right, no sweat. All right, we're gonna move on, man. But what was I saying? Yeah, a fugitive, man. Our oppressor is a fugitive and a vagabond. Even that's talking about Cain, but we know that Cain is spiritually Esau.
Right.
Do you understand? We'll go into that next week for sure. We'll go into that Monday. Y'all tune in on Monday. We're gonna go into that. on how is Cain spiritually Esau. We'll go exactly on the whole breakdown on it. But our oppressor Esau, the white man, he's a fugitive. Right. So that's why he's going to give you those lies and those doctrines that they say that the Gentiles means everybody and that God loves everybody because he's running from judgment. Right. He doesn't want you to know who the nations are. That's why he calls you black, African American, Negro. He calls himself white, Caucasian. He calls the Puerto Rican, Dominican, and them Africans, and he doesn't go by any biblical names. He doesn't go by any biblical names because he doesn't want you to know who everyone is. And when you know who everybody is, you're going to know who he is. And if you know who he is, then you're going to start to understand. Then you're going to understand that all the things that you see is going on out there with Trump and those tariffs and Russia and Ukraine and Iran and America and China and America and all this stuff is prophecy. It's all biblical. It's all about to just blow up. Right. You understand? This place is about to come down, falling. You understand? Faster than the, You want to say something?
How many felonies or convictions does Donald Trump have?
Oh, 34 felonies.
Donald Trump has 34 felonies, and he has not paid for those crimes. And yet he can be the ruler of the free world, the whole planet. And he himself is running from, his judgment. He doesn't know it. But until he serves his judgment, he has to serve those lies to keep continuing this evil empire that he's running with another African American, Elon Musk.
Damn right.
He's going to serve his judgment very soon. Lord alive.
Damn right. Give that brother a hand, man. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something, man. That's a perfect example of, you understand, being first of all, being in our oppressor's kingdom and being a fugitive. Like they can get away with, whatever they want to because they're all running from a judgment.
Right.
You understand? And Esau knows his time is short.
Right.
He has but a short time. So that's why they're going to come down on us very, violently. That's why you're seeing all these things that's happening right now. You know who's going to be affected the most during this time? Blacks and Latinos.
Right.
You understand? The lower class. The people that's living in the ghettos and the barrios. People that's living paycheck to paycheck. Not the so-called white man. The middle class. The middle class is rich. Like, talking about the middle class. The middle class is fine. They got money. You understand? But the poor are getting poor. You want to say something, Corey? Okay, I think we get off subject. What else? Let me get did that video ever upload on you? Oh, Most High Christ. I think I want to send you another one too. Let me see if did it all go through? I wonder if it did. Give me 1 minute, all right? Let me send this to you real quick, Zakari. Let me send this to you. To Gmail, right? Yep. That's what I'm saying. This video might be good enough though. Let's see. Oh wait, were you able to pull it up in the Messenger or no? All right, that's what it is. So I'm save this to files. Keep both. Says no. Man, this would have been the perfect one to play, but I'm not going to stress on it. All right, let me get Revelations 13 and 15, Baruch Shah. All right.
This is the Revelation, chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as do not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right. So real quick. So this is the mark of the beast. What we find out, we're trying to find out is who is the beast. But in this scripture, right, it says what? It says he had power. Who was the he in the scripture? Zakari?
That's Esau, sir.
Damn right, man. Right? And how do we know this? Right? How do we know this? Who is the image?
If I made the image of white Christ, white Jesus.
Damn right, man. Get that brother a hand, man. Both of y'all brothers, man. Like, that's the he is Esau. Absolutely. The he is Esau, the white man. That's who the he is. And he gave power to that fake image, that Caesar Borgia image, that white image, that white Jesus. He gave power to that. You understand? And anybody who did what? That would not.
And cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Should be killed. Man, I forgot to send you something too. I want to send you. I'm not gonna trip about it, but I mentioned it earlier. The African lady, well, we ain't African, but this African lady said that many of these countries, when the so-called white man came to their countries and they wanted to discuss trade or use missionaries or use some way to find a way to get into their create certain programs so where they can help the community, help the villages, or help better the health care system within that country. It was always a lie or a scam to get to the resources. They've always used Christianity. She said they use Christianity to get to their resources, and they never. You ever seen that, man, brother? Oh, I still got it. Mm-hmm.
So like if I may, like Revelation 13:15 was saying, if you don't accept the image, the life, the white Christ, you'll be put to death, you'll be cast out, you'll miss out on resources.
Right.
That's just a modern day Christianity that's been running the planet for centuries. But back in the day, it was just professing yourself to be a Jew, to claim your identity, that would also get you killed, unalive. Like, right. It was dangerous just to stand in your own respect and love for your own people and your own history. That would get you unalive.
Right.
Nowadays, we have this false doctrine of Christianity, which, it's a death sentence for you in your country if you don't accept it as, the religious authority of the ruling class.
Right. Absolutely. You understand? And what you're saying is so heavy is like, the example of that, you can look at was it Gaddafi? Gaddafi was, I think he ruled over, he was like the president of Liberia or Libya, right? One of those countries, I think Libya. And he dropped the dollar, right? And he wanted to follow Islam and have his country be Islam, and he did all those things. Man, they blew that dude up, him and his kids. They killed that dude, you know what I'm saying? Because he didn't want to follow the mark of the beast. And when you don't want to follow the mark of the beast, what does it say? It says he shall be killed. Right. You know what I'm saying? Look at these countries that don't want to bow down to our oppressor and follow the mark of the beast. Look at Iran. They don't want to follow his policies. They don't want to follow his ways. They don't want to do what you say. And what does Donald Trump want to do? He said, if you don't listen, if you don't comply, we're going to drop bombs on you. That's the market. That's the example of what we just read. Right. Read that again one more time, Babu Shah.
Oh God. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right. If you don't follow the image, if you don't follow the ways of our oppressor, if you don't follow this image, the Caesar Borgia image, you should be. They want you to be destroyed, man. Just take your land, take your government, take your people, take your culture, and do a regime change. That's what they call it, a regime change. You're gonna switch out all those government leaders in there. Just switch them all out. Put their own in there. Who's gonna follow the mark of the beast in there. That's who they're gonna put in there. Somebody who's gonna follow the mark. Let me tell you something, man. We're living in the Bible.
Right.
That's what the Bible is future history.
Right.
And we're living in it. Do you understand? It's future history. We got the past, the present, and the future. And we can see the future, but the future has already happened because it's written. It's written in the Bible. We've seen what's going to come to pass because it's already happened. It's already done. It's history. It's future history. We've seen the fall of America because we read it in the Bible. We know who the beast is. You understand? We know that the mark of the beast ain't no microchip because we've seen the history. We read it. We've seen it. We see it in you. When you don't want to put down Christmas and put down Valentine's Day and all these pagan holidays, when you want to get high and smoke weed and you understand and do all these kind of things that you're doing in the world that don't align with the Lord, we know that you fall on that mark. When you fight us and want to fight us about being with that damn white girl, we know you got a mark, Nick. We know that you got a mark. You understand? We're telling you to get that off you, brother. You understand? Come back and serve the Lord. Let this place burn, man. It's gonna name none. Like I said when the beginning of the class, when you in the world, you're gonna realize that none of this stuff mattered. It just didn't matter, man. Like a man on the deathbed, like a man on his deathbed who finally come to terms and realize, you know what I'm saying? Epiphany, like, damn, I just never realized that none of the stuff that I fought for and worked for, those things just didn't matter. The thing that mattered the most was each other. The thing that mattered the most was my culture, my people, my loved ones, the people that I love. Like none of this stuff I can take with me. I can't do nothing with it. All right, let me get Sulaki. Let's see where we go. The beast. I think we already got that part right. Let me get Ezekiel 34 and 2. No. So like let me get Genesis 3 and 1. Just to show the beast, because Christians, the reason why we had to mention that the book of Revelation is full of the majority of its metaphor or symbolic. So we're going to show that the beast is a man. Let me get Genesis 3 and 1. Where are we in time? Where in time is the card?
Hour 33.
Okay, that's good.
Where are you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
Right.
Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent.
Hold up. Read that again from the top, Salaki.
Verse 1.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Then any what?
Than any beast of the field.
So this beast, you understand? It's referring to the serpent, right? Okay, so now Christians will say, "Oh, that's a talking snake." That's a talking snake, huh?
Right.
No, but why is it referred to as a beast? Why do we don't talk about snakes being beasts today? Because that's not talking about a snake. It's talking about a man. You understand? It's talking about a man. Just like the man and the brother, somebody at work, but like, hey man, don't trust them. They're a snake. They're a snake, man. Don't trust them. Because it's talking about somebody who's, you understand? It's talking about a man. Yeah, of course.
So the Bible is saying that a man is like a beast of the field, it's like a snake. Just like you say, we talking metaphors. We got a snake at the job, we got a mole, government, so we got a rat amongst our,
a mole. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Well, Christ said it himself, he only came to save the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Slack.
This is so milk.
Yeah.
It's like Christ is not, a zoologist, out here saving woolly, four-legged animals.
Right.
He's out here looking for specific people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the Garden of Eden. It's not an actual garden, but it's a nation.
Right.
And that we're trying to raise up. Christ came back to save the lost sheep, the scattered sheep among the four corners of the earth, man.
Right.
And the lost sheep, you know what I'm saying? Like we teach in UPK, or the lost 12 tribes, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. And we are the lost sheep. Just like there's sheep that the Most High loves, there's a snake amongst us that is destroying us, creeping into our mind. Wow.
No, you too hard. Hey, get that brother a hand, man. Damn right. And damn right. And that brings me to the next, let me get Ezekiel 34:2. You understand? Because what he said is absolutely accurate. It's on point. Like, what the brother say? He said, we got a mole. Then they said during the Kendrick and Drake beef, the little battle, we got a mole in our camp. We got a mole. Like, you don't think a damn mole. Like, you think about a person, a man.
Right.
It's wild how when Christianity, you go into it with like a cartoon, like you just like you reading a comic book or something like that, and you take away the context and you don't like all that. Man, Christianity is a evil lie that has destroyed the minds of And what's wild too is that Christians, they say, oh yeah, they have respect for people who go to college. Now, I'm not saying going to college is bad, okay? But let's say if a brother has a doctorate or something like that. They'll say, well, he knows the Bible because he's a doctorate. He is a doctor, a PhD. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Some of us that did go to church and they about to invite some new pastor up, why did they mention all his accolades? Yo, he's a PhD and he has the doctorates and this brother about to come up and he's going to speak and people are like, oh my God, Lord have mercy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so now he knows the Bible because he knows what? How to read? Like, I don't know, because why does he has all the respect? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he don't know the Bible. He just knows the mark. That's all he knows. He knows to uphold the mark of the beast. So he'll go in the book and ignore the context. He'll believe in talking snakes. He'll believe that Gentiles talking about everybody. He'll believe in seven-headed beasts coming out of the water, literally.
Christians will believe that Eve ate an apple out of the garden.
It's not
even there's no reference to an apple in the Bible, period.
That's a good example. That's a perfect example.
If you leave it up and down, man, there's other philosophies about the apple being the forbidden fruit and this and that. It's a lot.
Absolutely. No, you too wild. Like, that's a perfect example. The damn apple. Oh, Eve ate an apple, and that's why your ass going to eat an apple anyway. Like, you believe that, but you like apples. Like, you got an iPhone. It's the same, man. Like, y'all tripping, okay? Right. Christianity. Well, I tell you, man. But that's Christianity, man. when our oppressor, and it's really, let me tell you something, man. It's not so much having respect for someone who has accolades and all these all these different degrees of education, all these different levels of education. It's not so much that. It's the fact that we have way more respect for our oppressor. This is why, this is something I just never understood. You see how the white man has different ceremonies, like the Oscars, or the VMAs, or the Grammys, and this is just some bull crap our oppressor made up. So now I'm gonna have so much more respect for something that our oppressor made up. Oh, I got a Grammy. All right. Oh my God. So, like, what does it mean? What can I do with this damn? Like, it doesn't mean anything. But you have so much respect for the so-called white man and their culture. If they give you any damn thing, you're gonna have respect for it. You're gonna say, "Oh my God, I got this. This is what I got, y'all, from the white man, and I am somebody now." No, that's all that's gonna burn. When Christ returns, you're gonna realize none of those things didn't mean nothing, and you fought so hard for something that just was worthless. It was worthless, man. It just didn't mean nothing. You want to say something?
Like, man, a lot, you were talking about higher education and college education. A lot of, Judahites, so-called black people, we go to these HBCUs, these historically black colleges and universities.
Mm-hmm.
They join fraternities and sororities, which is Greek culture, a Greek system of fraternity and networking. That's colonization right there.
Mm-hmm.
They join these Greek fraternities, these sororities, do these inhumane, sodomitish, LGBT activities behind closed doors,
mm-hmm.
blindfolded, hazing. Some of them get unalived doing these rituals.
Mm-hmm.
They go through all this and they graduate, but the names of these HBCUs are actually the names of white oppressors.
Right.
Like Howard.
Right.
And Grambling.
Mm-hmm.
And the destruction is so mental, and it's in the higher education. That's why people have to come to the ISUPK, the Israelite school, and we learn and we watch and get brainwashed.
That's right. No, damn right. Damn right. Yeah, brother, him, man. And just to be clear, like, going to school and getting education, that's nothing wrong with that. That's excellent. Right. That is an excellent thing. But I think that, especially in the Christian church, we hold these things, certain things, we have more respect for our oppressor somehow. Going to, becoming somebody, a Grammy winner, or whatever it is that it may be. We have so much more respect because it came from the white man. You know what I'm saying? And we really, we got to come together and have each other, man.
Right.
So, like, I want to go somewhere. Yeah, let me get that. And I think we get one more, and we're gonna wrap it up. Oh, then I want to. Man, no, we're not. Yeah, go play it, man. I gotta hurry up. So like you. No, you get. What's that scripture? Ezekiel 34:2. Yeah.
Oh God, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 2. Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherds of Israel.
Wait, so it's talking about shepherds. Why is it referring to Israel as what? Sheep. Right? Keep going.
That do feed themselves.
Uh-huh.
Should not the shepherds feed the flocks?
Right. Jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. And they were scattered Because there was no shepherd. Mm-hmm. And they became meat to all the beasts of the field, when they were scattered. Mm-hmm. They became what? Meat to all the beasts of the field. We became meat to all the beasts of the field. Still referring to Israel as, you understand, sheep or flock. You understand? Right. So when we read the word beast, it's not talking about some monster. You understand? Or some cattle or something like that. It's talking about people. Jump down to verse 28 for me, Barbara. 28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen. Neither shall the beasts of the land devour them. Read that one more time. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen. We shall know that Israel shall no more be a prey to the heathen, because the heathen have been preying on us. Because they are the what? Beast. Sorry. Beast of the field. The beast. That's what it's talking about. The heathens are the beast. Right. That's what it's talking about. Now, in Revelation, this particular beast is referring to the so-called white man. Right. We just proved that beast is referring to the heathen. When we go to the book of Revelation, that mark of the beast is talking about our oppressor. Now, let me get Revelations 12 and 9. Yeah. Revelation 12 and 9. And then we're going to talk about these tariffs a little bit, and we're going to wrap it up. It's like, all right, go ahead. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent. That what? That old serpent. The great dragon was cast out. That what? That old serpent. What old serpent? What serpent are they talking about? The serpent that was back in the book of Revelation. I'm sorry, book of Genesis. You understand? Keep reading. Called the devil, the deceiver, right? The devil, an adversary, a man. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading. And Satan. Which deceiveth the whole world. And they call him Satan, right? Because he's not the angel Satan. He's not the Satan that does, does the Lord's work, right? Our oppressor has the mind of Satan, right, which is is to destroy, is to deceive. He has that same spirit that Satan has, but he doesn't do the works of Satan. Meaning Satan works for the Lord. Right. The angel Satan works for the Lord. Why do I say that? Why am I saying that? I'm saying that right because the scriptures say that. When you go into the book of Job, we ain't gonna get into it right now, but you can go to the book of Job, the first chapter. The Lord asks Satan, where comest thou? From to and fro from the earth, right? Going up and down to and fro over the earth. Have you considered my servant Job? This is what the Lord is asking Satan. Have you considered him? Hold on, wait. I know you ain't here for Job. I know you're gonna try him, not Job. Job excures evil. He hates evil. He's a just man. He's you know what? The Lord said Job was perfect. You understand? I know you ain't trying to try him. And then Satan said, I'm paraphrasing all this, right? Satan said, the only reason he ain't turned and cursed you is because you ain't did nothing to him. Look at the stuff that you done for him. You gave him this, you gave him that. Yeah, he had his family, he had his farm and cattle. This brother is good. That's why he ain't turned and cursed you yet. And the Lord allows Satan to do what he does. He told him, go and touch everything that he has, save his life. Accept his life. Don't take his life away, but take away everything he has and destroy everything. And what does Satan say? He said, Khan Adawan Khan. He said, yes, sir.
Yes, Lord, I'll do that because he works for the Lord. Now, this when it says Satan in the book of Revelation 12 and 9, it's talking about the mind of the white man. The mind, his spirit is to do evil in the earth. And it's not to do anything do any work for the Lord. He's just an evil bastard. Right. The white man is just an evil man. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? You understand? He embodied that spirit of Satan. He is the devil, that old serpent, the man. Right? And he became a great dragon because look at his empire now. Look at his military. Look at his armies. Look at his space force. Look what he has become from that all the way from the garden. From the Garden of Eden, he was just one man. Now he has a sea of men, a military, an empire that stretches from here now to present day all the way to Rome. This man has become a dragon. You understand? Drop that and let me get Revelation 13 and 16. Revelation 13 and 16. Because we're going to go into a little bit. This is going to lead into what my main topic really. Right? There's a lot of, my bad, real quick. There's a lot of things going on in the earth right now. And we're going to touch on it a little bit, right? Keep reading. Barbershop.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And he calls it all, both small and great.
He calls it all, both small and great. Uh-huh.
Rich and poor.
Rich and poor.
Free and bond.
Free and bond, see? Uh-huh.
To receive a mark in their right hand.
Oh, see? It's the mark of the beast. It's a microchip that you're going to have to get in your forehead. Elon Musk is going, nah, man. It's not talking about that. It's not talking about that, people. You understand? Everything that we've learned in the Christian church or in Christianity has been a lie. Right. Many Christians have that mark. You already have the mark of the beast. You don't have to go to the doctor and get a chip because you can't put down cigarettes. Right. The hell you need a mark of the beast for? What you mean? Oh, you trying to tell me this is talking about buying potato chips and coffee and drinks? Right. So what you mean to tell me are drug dealers going to be exchanging money for drugs with the mark of the beast? So I guess the white man might be on to stopping crime. Stopping crime, which he's thrived from you doing crime. That's why he has the prison systems. That's why we brought this up earlier. He has a strong prison slave system, a prison system to keep you in jail. You mean to try to tell me he's gonna stop prostitution? Because how are you gonna buy and sell box with a mark? You understand? That mark of the beast ain't talking about a microchip. The mark of the beast is right now.
Right.
It's you going to that prostitute. It's you smoking weed and doing drugs. It's you going into that Christian church and being a Christian. It's following the ways of our oppressor, their philosophies. It's following our oppressor's religion. You gotta put that away from you, man. Get that damn Christianity out of your mind and put that away. You understand? Get the Lord's mark and get that dirty, stinking mark, that mark of the beast, that philosophy, that religion. You got to separate that self thing from you, man. Because if you got that same spirit and that mind and that philosophy and that religion, yes, Yes, brother, you are going to get destroyed.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is what the scriptures say. That's why we said that we're reading the future history, because we're reading what already took place. What already happened, we're reading it right now. That's why we know. That's why we know. That's why we're telling you. That's why we're giving you a warning. We're seers. We're prophets. We're the men that the Lord chose to watch over your souls. You understand?
Right.
But maybe if you want to choose a white man to be your prophet, you want to choose white Jesus to be your prophet. Well, the Lord says he's a false prophet, and he has death and destruction waiting for you. That way is not the right way. Right? Keep reading.
What verse 17, sir?
Oh yeah, drop that. Oh yeah, read that again from the top, so we can make sure we break that down.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And he calls us all, both small and great.
He calls us all, both small and great. What is he talking about? He's talking about small countries and great countries. Countries. This has nothing to do with buying chips and soda and things that's in your house. Right. So I'm talking about going to Walmart. Talking about countries that bow down to our oppressor. Keep reading.
Rich and poor.
Rich and poor countries. That means you have first world countries and you have third world countries. You understand? Keep going.
Free and bond.
Free and bond. You have some countries that's same. It's the same thing. First world countries and third world countries. Keep reading.
To receive a mark in their right hand. Or in their forehead.
To have that philosophy, to have that agreement, to have that, you understand, that religion, to bow down to our oppressor, to put white Jesus first, to have respect for our oppressor and their religion and their culture. Culture is so important. Let me tell you something. Because a lot of people don't even know that. What was going on in Iran, I believe sometime a little bit, I think 2021. 2021, there was a big protest going on in Iran, and it was over culture. See, the young people wanted to follow American culture, and they stood up against the government, and the government fought against the American culture in Iran. Culture is important. This is what we've been saying this whole lesson. Culture is so important, and every country knows this, that you got to preserve the culture, your heritage, your tradition, your ways, because if you lose that, you're going to lose your people. And when you lose your people, you're going to lose your culture. You're going to lose your country. You're going to lose everything that your forefathers worked and died for. Now look at black people. Look at Latinos and Native Indians. We follow our oppressor's culture, and then we wonder what's wrong with the youth and why are the children acting this way, and because we gave our culture the thing that was very important to us, which is the Bible. And we turn around and say that Gentiles are talking about everybody, when Gentiles in this depending on the context, it's talking about us. It's talking about us following their culture and not following after Christ. Zakari, can you get that for me? Can you get that play that video for me? And then we're gonna get one more scripture after that, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Just realized that in the last 100 days, 300,000 Americans have lost their jobs. That is larger than the population of Pittsburgh. Now imagine the entire population of Pittsburgh looking for work simultaneously. UPS, Intel, Amazon, the federal government literally millions of workers could be losing their jobs. That's truck drivers, port workers, warehouse workers, import-export agents. For anybody who's been looking for a job for the last couple of years, they will tell you that it is incredibly difficult right now to find any sort of meaningful work, especially in the field in which you study. But it is only going to get more difficult because as millions, potentially millions, of newly unemployed Americans hit the job market, at the same time as AI is replacing people, it is going to be almost impossible. And let me tell you, one of the biggest factors is going to be those 121,000 and climbing federal employees who have been laid off, because they are typically highly trained, highly skilled, highly educated. They've got like PhDs, they've got master's degrees. These people, and they're not going to just be looking in their field guide. Let me tell you, in 2009, when the financial collapse hit, people switched jobs all over the place. They switched careers like crazy. Dude, I was working in a restaurant and there were people with master's degrees coming in to serve tables. People will become real estate agents. People will become teachers. Anything that they can do to survive. So if you think that your job is going to be okay, you're going to be just fine. Let me tell you right now, it is going to get incredibly competitive. And if you've already been having a hard time finding work, it's going to be almost impossible. Everybody needs to start working on their networking again and working on their side hustles. So networking is going to be one of the big things. Start reconnecting with people that you knew from high school, people that you knew from previous jobs. Start, chatting with them again, because when time comes, that is going to be one of the biggest things. If there are jobs out there, knowing somebody in the business, knowing somebody that can recommend you is going to be invaluable. So make sure you guys are networking like crazy. And then your side hustles. If you work in an office or something, go start picking up shifts at a restaurant. If you've never served tables before, learn, because it is one of those things that you can fall back on. You absolutely need to. You need to have something where if you cannot find a job for months, you're able to somehow support yourself. Whether that be DoorDash, go start DoorDashing, go start doing Spark Driver on the weekends, because I'm telling you, the layoffs are coming. The economy is about to crash. And if I lived through the 2009 recession, I know that working your side hustles, whether it be 2, 3, 4 of them, is going to be incredibly important. And again, nothing beats networking. For young people, honestly, consider moving back in with your parents. Start moving in with roommates. Start doing anything you can to survive. Dude, there's people that are going to start moving into storage units. I promise you that. We're going to start seeing an epidemic of people moving into storage units because it's just going to get that bad. But realistically, move back in with your parents. Start saving money. The worst is coming, guys. I want everybody to realize that, and everybody needs to start preparing for it. You guys thought that the job market was good before?
All right. Hey, Scary, are you able to play the one that's in the messenger?
Sir.
No?
Sir.
Damn. Oh, you can't pull it up?
I can try. Let me try one time.
Correct. It's playing?
Is that the TikTok?
Yeah.
Are you gonna log in to TikTok? You know the login for the TikTok? No.
So I mean, you can't play that one that's in the messenger.
I'm trying to.
Nah, don't worry about it. That's really the one I want. But I'll just tell you what it says. So many, right now there's a lot of ships that are not coming to the United States. They're not coming to the ports where America received many goods and different products and things like that we normally get in the United States. I don't even know if many people know about this. A lot of people don't even. There's just a lot of people that don't even are not even aware of it. So it's not even a big deal because they're not hearing about it. But it's huge, right? On May 28th, that's when the last ship, I believe, pulled in, or I believe May 11th was supposed to be the last day where any ship was actually supposed to come to any of our ports in the United States. You understand? But a lot of those ports, due to Trump's tariffs, are still in China or still in certain places. Let me say something. America is the world's biggest consumer. You understand? We rely on outside products to come in the United States for people to buy or for people to survive. You understand? We don't have any, we don't have very many in-house, or in the country steel mills and things like that, producers. We're not not a huge producer of products. China is the world's greatest not consumer, but producer. And America is the greatest consumer. So now Trump has started a tariff war with China, the world's greatest producer, with tariffs. Okay? And America is about to feel it. We've been talking about this for a long time. And guess what? This is it's all biblical. It's all in the Bible, right? Yeah, if you can't play it, don't worry about it. Let me see. You
got it, sir.
You got it? Most High in Christ. All right, let me see. Hey, somebody got a remote down there?
What?
Don't worry about it. It's cool. I'm gonna watch on here. You good?
I'm gonna try to record this. This is like the third time without being interrupted. So I was listening to Hassan Pike this morning about the empty shelves and that the ports are going to be empty coming soon. And he was calling it the tsunami. And he's not joking when he says that, because if you look at it, once those last cargo ships come, that's it. It's done. Once they get to store shelves, that is it. And the fact that this is being compared worse than COVID is scary as shit. There's going to be so much job loss, not job growth that our Trump keeps on touting. And the fact that the first people that are going to get laid off are your transportation people. So it's going to be like your trucking industry, your FedEx, your UPS, your people that work on the ports laid off. And then eventually people in the automotive industry will be laid off. And then it'll trickle down to your retail and your fast food and restaurants. Yeah, dude, this is a scary time. And I'm trying to keep calm in this, but I know the outcome that's going to be probably, because I remember COVID and those grocery store shelves were crazy and the prices were insane. And the fact like we're going to that path, if not worse, is more crazy. I don't know, man. I think this is the turning point, though. The only good outcome of this problem, without being interrupted. I'm gonna try to record this. This is the third time without being interrupted. So I was listening to something like this morning about the empty shelves.
Okay, so let me get Revelations 18:3. I'll show you something. Revelations 18:3.
All
right.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 3.
Now, just real quick. So you hear what he's saying, right? Like, we're going into something that's, something's terrible is about to happen in America. We've been saying this for years, though. You understand? And, we're going to let the scripture talk. Go ahead, read.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Right. All nations have, you commerced with America, have made wealth and waxed rich through America, through being from America being such a great consumer of all of their products, all of their resources, have made lots of money. You understand? Through America. Keep reading.
And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right. Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall be well heard.
They shall be. All these countries are going to be well heard. Man, they're going to, you know, they're going to see the downfall of this place. Keep reading.
And lament for her.
They're going to cry and weep for her. Weep for her is referring to the United States as her, because America, the scriptures refer to Babylon the Great, mystery Babylon the Great, as the great whore. That whore that sits on many waters. Many waters meaning, like you see America has a great sea on the right and on the left and underneath. You understand? It's really surrounded by waters. You understand? It's the whore that sits on many waters, from sea to shining sea.
Right.
Go ahead.
When they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Because this place is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear warfare. Don't you know, one thing you need to understand, trade wars happen before real wars.
Right.
You understand? Don't think that this is just going to be something with some money and this is going to be that. No. People are going to be starving. They're going to be fighting. They're going to be angry. They're going to expect a response. They're going to want more. And guess what? Trump knows what they all know. They're going to, man, there's another clip I wanted to play, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to save it for next week. We'll save it for next week. Keep reading.
Verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas.
Now, alas. Now, I know people, because they don't understand. Alas. They're thinking at last. That's not what they're saying. At last means it's like grief or pity or concern. That's what that word means. Alas doesn't mean at last. It means like a grief. It's like a sorrow. Right? Keep reading.
That great city, Babylon. That mighty city.
Oh man, America, that great city. Go ahead.
For 1 hour, thy judgment come.
1 hour did the judgment come. It didn't take long for this place to fall. You see, right now they saying, oh man, by this summer it's gonna be a summer recession. A summer recession. This what the people saying they're saying everywhere. This place is about to tank. It's about to fall and crumble, because America has already destroyed the relationships with its own allies.
Right.
How stupid is that? Why would you do that? Because the Lord wants this place to fall.
Right.
And he put a spirit on Donald Trump. You think, oh, make America great again. You don't realize, when America had its own, when they had kept companies in-house, kept it in the country, that's coming out of the Great Depression. You understand? Where you were forced to try to build your own. This America is not old America. Like patriots and Donald Trump supporters and all that, they don't realize that. You don't have the same people as you did before. You understand that, right? People got in the military before. Not today. Those numbers are pretty low. You understand? What's the saying? They say strong men create easy times, and easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Now, that's paraphrasing. It's been easy for too long, and you're going into a hard time. But this time, America's not coming out of it. They're not coming out of this war and all this turmoil that's about to take place. America's not going to survive survive what's coming, because it's mystery Babylon the Great. It's gonna fall and never to rise again. I'm gonna say it again, like this is future prophet. This is future history. We're reading it because we're reading history. We are reading the future.
Right.
But being that it's on paper now, it's because it's happened already. History is written. It's written. Keep reading.
Verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her. But no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Where verse you at?
Verse 11.
Jump down to verse 17 for me. No, you keep reading. Matter of fact, yeah, keep reading. Keep reading at the verse 11. Yeah, keep reading if you could.
Verse 12. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones.
Yeah.
And of pearls. And of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet.
So all these goods it's talking about? Talking about goods. Talking about products. Talking about the same things that come in on those ships. Those ships that are in China and you know they're being forced to unload those crates to try to salvage some of those goods, if possible. They're not on the coast or at the ports of California. They're not at the ports of New York and Florida. No. All those precious merchandise, they're not here. Right? Keep reading.
And purple and silk and scarlet and all cyan wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood.
Jump down to 16 for me. No, I mean jump down to verse 17 for me, Bible Kashah. So we can go ahead and yeah. Yep. Got it? All these precious merchandise that's on those ships. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 17.
Listen.
For 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught.
Yeah, so great riches. All these riches that all these countries have made off of American consumers have come to nothing now. Oh, it's come to nothing. You're not going to be it's not going to be make America great again, because all these riches all this trade, all the agreements that was once had, it's all coming to nothing now. Keep reading.
And every shipmaster.
Every what?
Every shipmaster.
Every what?
Shipmaster.
Every shipmaster. Because that's where all these precious goods and minerals and ivory and vessels and wood and brass and iron and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and fine wood, all of it is not coming to the United States. Keep reading.
And all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea.
Hold on, read that. Hold on. As many as did what? With shipmasters?
And all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea.
They trade by sea. You see, what's happening right now is in the Bible.
Right.
Those ships that are not when we just played on the video, they're not at the port. And guess what? What has Canada been doing all this time? They've been weeping. All of Europe, all of those NATO countries, they've been weeping and lamenting because they can't get rich off of America. Read the next verse.
Verse 18. And as many as trade by sea stood afar off. Verse 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning.
So this place is going to go to war.
Saying, what city is like unto this great city? Verse 19.
Like hold on real quick. What city is like this great city? Just to keep in mind, America is one of the greatest consumer countries on the earth.
Right.
People buy and sell everything. We're just making money, doing merchandise of the land. This is where you become a millionaire overnight selling TikTok products.
Right.
Like you understand? It's so easy to get rich well, I'm saying that, lightly, or, you understand? In America. America is a huge consumer. It's a place where you make your dreams come true. The land of opportunity. Oh, what happened to America? What happened? What's happened to this place? Keep reading.
Verse 19. And they cast dust on their heads.
Right.
And cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness.
Hold on, because I want you to read that part very slowly.
Alas, alas, that great city.
The great city, America.
Wherein were made rich.
You were made rich.
All that had ships.
That had what?
That had ships.
That had ships.
In the sea.
In the sea, because that's how you made your commerce. Keep reading.
By reason of her costliness.
Costliness. Somebody work with the word costliness. You know that America used to have 0% tariffs, meaning, consumers or 10%, whatever. It was just dirt cheap. It wasn't 125%. It was 10% or 0% for some countries. Or, I think he even had something with Russia when it wasn't as ridiculous. It was easy to make money by trade, by ship. But guess what? That's being affected right in this. We're reading it right now. We're reading what's happening right now. What's the word costly? Somebody bring up the definition of costliness for me.
The definition of costliness, the fact of being expensive or too expensive.
Whoa, 125% tariff is what? Expensive.
Expensive, sir.
It's expensive. You're reading it. It's in the Bible. You understand? You're reading what is actually taking place right now. Keep reading. Matter of fact, let's see. Keep reading. Let me get some of them synonyms.
Synonyms of costliness.
You got the point. Don't worry about it. But it's a high ticket right now. It's expensive. No one wants to pay 125% tariff. Nobody wants to pay a 25% tariff. And guess who pays for the tariffs? The American consumer. The everyday brother or sister or consumer that works a 9 to 5, that's working paycheck to paycheck, that's about to go on Amazon and try to purchase something and see how much it actually costs, and says, no, I don't want to buy that. What is a tariff? Somebody get the definition of a tariff for me. I want you to get a definition to a tariff for me, and then I want you, matter of fact, I'm kind of low-key want to send this to you. It should be the first definition that pulls up. It should say, just go ahead and read it and see.
Definition of tariff. A tariff or import tax is a duty imposed by a national government, customs territory, or supranational union on imports of goods and is paid by the importer. Another definition, a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports.
Now let me get how tariffs work.
Tariffs are taxes charged on goods bought from other countries. Typically, they are a percentage of a product's value. The 10% tariff on goods from most nations means a $10 product would have a $1 tax on top, taking the total cost to $11.
Okay, hold on, because I don't know what definition you're reading. But that's good too. But tariffs is like an increased cost of imports. It says tariffs increase the price of imported goods for consumers and business owners. So you pay the tariff. So if the tariff is too high, if the price of the product that you're trying to purchase is too high, it's supposed to either deter you away from purchasing the product that came from that country, or purchase it if it looks affordable. And this is why China's not sending those goods over, man. You understand? And keep reading, Baba Shah, for 1 hour.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 19, near the end. For in 1 hour is she made desolate.
Desolate meaning empty. The word desolate, you go to the word desolate is empty. That's exactly what the shipyards look like, empty. So blacks, Latinos, Native Indians, you understand, you're living at a time, you understand, where it's time to awaken out of sleep, man. It's time to awaken out of sleep because death and destruction is nigh. You understand? Pretty soon those shelves are going to be empty and people are going to be fighting and destroying each other to survive. You have to come up in here so that you can get that protection, man. You understand? Choose the mark of the Lord and not the mark of the beast. And with that, are there any questions in the room? Questions in the comments?
Come in one comment, not so much a question. Brother named the second, he said, America has always been a free market before World War II.
Yep. But it's not. But now it's not. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, damn right. All right, so any more questions?
Kapah had referenced before, I think when you were trying to look for vagabond, she said Slavic Seraphamate, is it Ezekiel 17?
Yeah, I think it is. I think
verse 19 to 21.
Yep, you know what? I think that is it.
I got it. Ezekiel chapter 17, verse 19. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, as I live, surely my oath that he hath despised, and my covenant that he hath broken, even it will I recompense upon his own head. Verse 20. And I will spread my net upon him, and he shall be taken in my snare, and I will bring him to Babylon, and will plead with him there for his trespass, that he hath trespassed against me. Verse 21. And all his fugitives will, with all his bands, shall fall by the sword, and they that remain shall be scattered toward all winds.
No, not that one. That's all good, but that ain't it. That ain't it. But we'll get it next week, because next week we're gonna go into really more. It's gonna be a continuation of this lesson today. So tune in. I believe we're gonna do it Monday. So tune in. You understand? So with that, we're gonna go ahead and pass the class to over to Priest and Officer Zakaria. Barbara shot the water. Give him a hand.
These are the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West, 925th Street, Harlem, New York. Work for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment found in the book of Numbers, 18 verse 21, and the book of Malachi, 3 verse 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Maishu, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury to the prophet or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory to him. What's going around you with life? Upcoming holy convocations. The next high holy day is the Feast of First Fruits. It starts after the Sabbath, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, sundown, Sunday, April 20th, 2025. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day. Sunday, June 8th, 2025. Start before sundown. This can be found in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 through 22. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and a scarf. And with that, I pass the flag back to Priest and Officer 1,000 All
right. With that, Madium, which means to stand. I'm gonna give a courtesy salute to the teacher. I was like to the brothers. Men of Israel, Madium Shabbat, Madium, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yadim Matah, Nasar. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Madium Shabbat, Madium, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yadim Matah. Dismiss.